another episode Behind the Scenes, Nature and Rivers podcast. It is now July, and I hope you're enjoying your summer and enjoying these podcasts. Thank you for being here. In this podcast, we'll talk about the return of the Osprey, a new hatchling of wood ducks, a new family of American robins, tree branch that's visited by many birds, and right now some barn swallows are cruising there, chipmunks and turtles, the great blue heron and the great egret, a fledgling spotted sandpiper, a green and blue damselfly, an eastern amberwing, and a ladybug that might be taking over and displacing the native beetles. I hear the calling of the osprey and try to catch a glimpse of it being chased in the clouds. Yes, it is chased by some other birds, and the osprey that I've been watching a few times now at this location had to go and catch fish elsewhere. Before it leaves, it showcases its wingspan and in an effortless way navigates the open, cloudy skies. A new hatchling of wood ducks shows up. These wood ducks are only a few days old, and their mother is very protective of them, both on land and on the river. I catch the family of wood ducks crossing from one side of the river to the other. They're going into a more sheltered area which is covered by shrubs. The mother and the hatchlings are crossing right before a handful of geese are visiting the area. There is a lot of movement in the water, and the wood ducks are always on the lookout of anything that may come in their way of keeping them safe. These hatchlings already took their arduous first step of getting into the water as soon as they were born, so they have this inner instinct that makes them more resilient and adaptable. The mother wood duck is always there next to the hatchlings at every step of the way, and I could see the hatchlings at various instances catching insects and perhaps seeds at the surface of the water while they were crossing. I discovered a new family of American robins. The nest is protected from the hot sun as it is nestled in the leaves. These nestlings, which is actually 3 chicks in the nest, have the male robin here bringing worms to the nest and cleaning up after the chicks. The first day of of July turned to be very hot and humid, and this section of the river is frequented by many birds taking bath. A few robins were lining up to take turns to bathe at a favorite spot. This fine-looking robin remained in the water for a while to cool off. Others were taking second turns, cooling off in the water. At the fork, an old branch that has stood the test of many visiting birds is covered by barn swallow chicks. The parent is seen cruising low on the water, catching insects, and with a catch in its mouth, it feeds one of the chicks, one at a time. The one chick with the widest mouth and highest calling and most wings flapping is the one that gets the rewards. Their steely blue back and cinnamon underparts are distinct colors of the barn swallows. The feeding is very quick. In an instance, I can see what the parent actually caught and fed the chick. It is a damselfly. At this time of the year, I see other barn swallow chicks along the river. I have a few recordings of barn swallow chicks waiting for the parent. They're always on a branch that's overlooking the water. The parent has easy access to the food while the chicks wait on the water, and it's so much fun to watch these chicks just opening up their beaks and waiting for the food from the parent. A trio of turtles are sunbathing on a log along the swamp part of the river. Another turtle has found a relaxing spot in the water as dragonflies circulate above its head. It decides to swim off and take in some air in between the dives. I find a chipmunk that is comfortably eating at a nook on a tree trunk, and I believe that what it's eating is a berry. I find another chipmunk climbing a trunk and taking a rest from the climb. Next on this tree is a gray squirrel looking onto the river and just laying low. Another chipmunk is curiously checking out a lookout post. It is very hot, and although it is middle of the afternoon, the great blue heron is still fishing in the river. Just in front of my camera passes a great egret, and I fortunately managed to get this egret flying to where the great blue heron is fishing, and it's just magical how this egret flies, just gliding on the water. There are multiple great blue herons on the river, and I enjoy watching the heron fish. This particular great blue heron has a beautiful coat, very well conditioned, and this bird really enjoys preening constantly while fishing on the river. It also keeps its cool when a fish escapes from its sight. It is so beautiful to watch. This one adult green heron always has its eyes on catching a fish. It loves to hunt. It just loves to be close to the edge of the riverbank. I see it many times successfully catching small fish. I found a juvenile spotted sandpiper on a log near the waterfall. It was fun to watch it stretch and feel comfortable, sometimes crouching low and bobbing its tail up and down. As it was mid afternoon and it was very hot, this bird was not very active. It was just laying low and watching the damselflies and dragonflies just hovering above its head. It was just fun to watch. I was just looking over the water and I saw ripples and spotted some little fish. They were taking turns trying out an insect that landed on the surface of the water. Three fish had a go at the insect. The larger fish got the insect eaten all in one gulp. Not far away from where the fish were spotted, I saw these two damselflies. They are the green and blue damselflies on a plant where they were at their last part of their reproducing act, where the female, while still attached to the male, has the eggs being laid through the tail on the water. In a field next to the river, I came across an eastern amberwing. This is one of the smallest dragonflies in North America. Each of the four amber-colored wing has a red spot on the outer leading edge. Males have a clear amber wing. While at the waterfall, I saw this ladybug. It is yellow and does not have any spots on its wings. I returned home to research more about this insect, and apparently it is an Asian Lady Beetle. Unfortunately, this can displace the native beetle. At the end of the day, I wanted to see if there is a way to show you the numerous fireflies that are in my backyard. This is the scene in the dark of the fireflies. Before I end this podcast, I want to leave you with this quote. The smallest flickers of light of the fireflies and the gentlest currents of the river illuminate the darkness and carve the way through obstacles. Thank you for joining me today. And remember, persist and shine in your own way.